Good morning and welcome to another day of my life. It is Tuesday, August 30th, and I am in a hotel room in Austin, Texas. So I am going to be answering in this video, I'm going to be answering the question that I get a lot, which is, do you work on your goals on vacation? And the hardest part about answering that question is it depends. It depends on what type of vacation it is. I've explained it in a way where am I really trying to unplug and unwind, or am I just living my life in a different place? Because a lot of times we travel a lot. And so a lot of times when we travel, I am just picking up and doing the things I would normally do in a different place. Whether that's going to visit family and doing it at my parents' house, or like this week, from a hotel room. So for those of you who don't know, my husband Sam is a financial planner and advisor, and the company that he runs his business through offers an incentive trip every year. This is the 5th year that he has qualified for the trip, but only the 3rd trip that we've actually been able to go on. So we are here this week in Austin, Texas, and I am basically just going to be working and living my life from a hotel room. So I thought it would be fun to bring you along today, share with you what of my goals I do prioritize while I'm out of town, what I bring with me to support those goals. Again, every trip is going to be different, and so it's not even like a this or this, because there could be one total complete end of the spectrum, which my honeymoon almost was that, where I really didn't think about goals at all. Like, I did read a lot of books, but I didn't read because I was trying to hit goals. I read because I was enjoying reading. Otherwise, I pretty much made progress on 0 goals. I guess my relationship goal with my husband while we were gone. But otherwise on that trip, I was completely focused on enjoying our time in Thailand. Shameless plug, I have a whole video going through our honeymoon trip to Thailand. If you haven't caught that and want to hear more about it, I will leave a link down below. Now this week might be a little bit towards the other extreme, where I'm gonna be doing a lot of the same things that I normally would do at home, just in a different place. But at the same time, we are gonna have a little bit of fun today. We're gonna go have lunch with a friend. We're gonna go visit the University of Texas campus. And then there's like an honors dinner tonight. First things first, let me show you my little setup for the week, and then I will tell you about my plans for the day and how they're already changing. So what is good about this hotel room is that I feel like most hotel rooms come with a desk, but this one is big enough that we can both sit here and work, because there are gonna be times this week that he is not in sessions, and we're like, even yesterday when we got here, we both sat here and worked for a little bit, and this desk is plenty big that we're both able to sit on either side and work, so that it worked out really well. So this is the container I use to hold all of my electronics. Most of it is now plugged in, but this is what I use to carry it. This is actually from like a beauty brand, but I absolutely love this. I love that it's clear so I can always see what I'm digging up. Then I have my pen case from Moxie Life. My CBD oil always has to come with me. I bring my mouse pad a lot of places, but obviously I definitely was gonna bring it with me this week. My laptop. Then for planners this week, I didn't actually bring any planners with me. So, okay, before we get to the daily plans, let's actually start with the binder. So the binder has a lot of different printouts. One of the things I'm gonna be working on this week is my HB90 project planning for September. So I printed out some of the HB90 pages to write on. I'm trying something different this month and writing on them like by hand instead of doing it on my iPad. If you watched the video where I talked all about my HB90 system, yes, I was doing it on my iPad. I'm trying it by hand. So the binder was really meant to carry all the printouts that I brought with me and keep them nice, so they didn't get bent in my backpack. So for my weekly planner, I'm actually using a printable that I made myself. If you watched my last plan with me, I showed this there too. I just ran out of the ink and volt, but then it worked out because I was able to just bring this with me. So this is kind of the overview for the week. I am planning to work all week, but you can see I haven't planned out my actual tasks for work. Most of this is just all of the other commitments that we have this week, either as part of the conference or just being down here in Texas. And then the other thing I did, and this I did while I was on the plane, was get out of my head all the things I wanted to do this week and what things had to happen on exact days and what things could just happen. And some of this is work related, but some of it is personal things too. That way when I need a break from work things, I have personal things that I could catch up on as well. So I just kind of broke it down, the things that needed to get done for sure each day, and then overall all the things that I wanted to work on. So for a daily planner, I actually went ahead and made my own little printable here. I literally just made this in Excel. It really wasn't super complicated, and I just printed a bunch out. That way I could plan out my days and not have to bring a daily planner with me. So you can kind of see, this is an overview of what my day is going to look like. But like I said, I'm already gonna change something up. So Sam had to get up at about 6 in order to shower and get ready and get over to breakfast. And in the past, when I've joined him on these trips, I've taken vacation time. And so he'll get up and go, and I will like stay in bed or go back to sleep. But because I am prioritizing just, again, living my life from a hotel room this week, I got up at 6 with him and just started my morning routine. Now, there are definitely gonna be steps in my morning routine that I skipped. If you watch my latest morning routine video, some things like putting in laundry, that's something that I'm not gonna do in a hotel room. But the other parts of my morning routine, I wanted to keep as many components of it as I could. So I actually did bring some of my books and journals with me that are key pieces of my morning routine. So my daily Stoic book that I read every day and my daily gratitude journal. And having those two things with me is one of the big reasons why I didn't want to bring a daily planner, because I wanted to prioritize space for those two things as opposed to a daily planner. So kept going with my morning routine. I was reading my book, enjoying my coffee, and then my stomach started to growl. And because we are on East Coast time, and normally at this point, East Coast time, I would be wrapping up my morning routine and likely moving on to breakfast. Sometimes I even eat breakfast like in the middle of my morning routine, but it's always typically after I work out. I don't think that's gonna work today. Like I don't know if you get the same way when you get hungry, but I get so distracted by the fact that my stomach is growling. So that's the first thing that we're changing up. So Sam is at breakfast, like at the conference center for all of the attendees. They are providing breakfast for all of the guests here at our hotel, but it doesn't start till 8 and it is about 7, it's almost 7:30. So what I'm gonna do instead, I'm gonna go ahead and get dressed and then I'm gonna do a little bit of work for 30 minutes, just power through, and then go get breakfast at 8. And then we'll see how I feel, kind of depends on what they have. If I feel like I need a little bit of time for my food to settle, I'll come back up and do a little bit more work before I work out, or I might just go straight to the gym. You know, as I'm saying that out loud, I'm like, well, then I have to also bring all my stuff for the gym. Okay, we'll see. But for now, I'm gonna get dressed and get to work. All right, it's just after 8 o'clock. I'm not gonna lie, that was tough to focus through because my stomach was growling a lot. But I got through one of the 4 videos. I went ahead and just added these 4 little dots with my dot marker. That way I could mark off that I like started making progress on this. I thought I was just gonna power through all 4 at the same time, but since I ended up splitting them up by working on one now before breakfast, I went ahead and added that. And then I got the Q&A box up, so maybe we'll do some Q&A answers after breakfast. I also wanted to talk about the fact that I would like to go to the pool today. It is actually not supposed to be super sunny and it might rain this afternoon, so that is why I put a question mark next to it. We also have a lot of other things we're doing in the evening. Oh, I realized I didn't even write that we have, I think I pulled out my phone to look at what time it was at and then never actually like wrote it in. So the honors dinner, well, it starts with a reception at 5:30. Do we have to be there exactly at 5:30? No, the actual dinner starts at 6:30, but it'll probably go relatively late. Anyways, we have lots of stuff this afternoon, so I might not end up at the pool today, which is fine. I have 2 more days. You might, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see through the glare of the window, but you can see, whoa. Oh, you totally can see it. You can see the pool from our hotel room. Yesterday it was packed. Yesterday would have been the day. It was sunny and hot, but by the time we like got checked into our hotel room, I needed those last few hours to work before the evening plans. But I really do want to go hang out by that pool, and I could potentially go down there and work. We'll see. All right, headed to breakfast. I decided I'm not gonna worry about trying to go straight to the gym. I do have my like workout clothes on, but I'm just gonna like relax and have breakfast. Actually, do I want to bring my book? Yes I do. Also, look how cute the room keys are. It's got like the Austin mural on one side, which is where we actually got our engagement photos done, and then it's got New York Life Executive Council on the back. Let's grab my book. I think, you know what? You know where it is? Oh, and I'm actually so glad I came back for my book, because what I'm going to need is my name badge in order to get in for breakfast. So this is how you can like get into all the things. And first off, I love that it's got my new last name. And then this is like the office that he works out of, because it's a national event. And so there's people from all over the world. And then on the bottom, his says like, I don't actually remember what his says. And then mine obviously says guest. And then the colors on the bottom mean different things. So gray means that he is an established agent, which means he's been in the business for more than 3 years. There's another color for less than 3 years. There's another color
I'm pretty sure, for like your first time. And then there's a color if you work for the home office for corporate. And so last year, it was actually, last time we came to one of these, I actually had this really awesome double-sided name tag. So on one side, it looked like this, like it had my name, it had Sam's office, and it said guest. And then on the other side, it said my department, and it said home office employee. That way, because I did do some work, like I worked some shifts, like at some events while I was here last time. It was like part I was here as a guest, part I was here working. So anyways, I think my Kindle is here in my purse. Do I want to take my purse? I guess so. Also, let me show you. So the event they had yesterday, part of it is all of the home office departments. I know it's not exciting to look at my purse, but I'm about to show you something. All the home office departments have little tables. And so people can go around and chat, and they all come with swag. And look at one of the swag items. How cute is this little New York Life Longhorn? It's a little stress ball. And they were like, people don't get it. Like, I guess people didn't understand what it was. I was really excited about it. So I may have snagged some for my brothers as well. And then the only other swag thing that I took was sticky notes. So anyways, let's go ahead. I'm gonna take my Kindle in here, my headphones. Because one of my favorite YouTube channels also uploaded a new Disney vlog. So that's probably also what I'm gonna watch while I eat breakfast. All right, I'm back in the room. I intended to vlog more, like, and get some clips while I was out and about, but there were a lot of people, and I am usually pretty good about vlogging in public and not caring what people think, especially in New York. I walk around the streets in New York and it doesn't bother me at all. But here, it's just different because it's either people I actually potentially used to work with. So for those of you who don't know, I actually also used to work for this company on the corporate side for almost 9 years. And so when I'm walking around the hotel, it's either gonna be like potentially somebody I used to work with, a colleague of Sam's, somebody's significant other, like it, even if 95% of the people here I probably don't know, it's still, this connection is still, it's still too much. Like literally, so like I vlogged walking from the room to the elevator and pressing the elevator button, and then the elevator door opened and there were 3 people in there with name tags on, and I was like, oh, okay. And then we got out of the elevator and I like let them go ahead of me, and then I was gonna grab footage of these like New York City photos on the wall, and then a bunch of people came out of the elevator right afterwards, and I just got uncomfortable. So I stopped. Went in, had breakfast. Breakfast was awesome. The food was fantastic. And the way they do it here is they basically just take a conference room and have it like catered. The hotel will cater it to the conference room. And so there are a ton of tables. So I just like was able to go sit at a table by myself, put my headphones in and not have to like socialize with anybody. And breakfast was great. And then on my way out, I grabbed another cup of coffee from the breakfast coffee. I was kind of hoping there was gonna be iced coffee down there. I feel like a lot of places are like upgrading and offering, like every one of our hotels in Thailand offered iced coffee as one of their, like as part of their breakfast buffet. But anyways, and maybe they do as part of the like actual hotel breakfast buffet, but not the catered like company breakfast. Anyways, I grabbed a cup of coffee because we're already out of cream in the room. They gave us 2. Like, what if, good thing Sam doesn't drink coffee. Like I typically bring my own coffee for when I'm traveling because I like my mushroom coffee hot first thing in the morning. I don't wanna, hotel coffee is so hit or miss. So brought my own, and I just use like whatever milk, cream, whatever they give in the room. And yeah, I already used those. So I was like, I'm gonna grab another cup of coffee since I can't make one in the room because there's no more milk. But now I'm like, do I wanna drink this? Hot, actually I haven't even tried it yet. Or do I want to go venture out and find iced coffee? Let's take a sip. Yeah, no, I don't want to drink this. This is just hotel coffee. It's not worth it. And I don't need it right this second. Like I probably will need a second cup of coffee before we like get on with our day, but I don't need it right this second. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna power through. I'm gonna prep one more video while my breakfast settles, and then we're gonna go to the gym. All right, trying to head to the gym. See how long I make it before I run into somebody and stop vlogging. But I did bring my Peloton shoes. There's nobody in the elevator. Okay, the gym is on floor 6. It's one of those hotels where everything is on a different floor. It's very bright in here. Anyways, I looked up and saw that the hotel had Pelotons, so I made space for my shoes. All right, the good news, the gym was not crowded at all, minus there was a senior vice president from corporate. Our friend who is a VP for corporate told us this is where they're staying, like that tier and above is at our hotel, because not everyone is at the same hotel. There's multiple hotels. There's so many people here, we all wouldn't fit in one hotel. So, anyway, that is not the point of the story.
He didn't recognize me at all, so that was fine. I think we met probably like twice during my 9 years there. So anyways, gym was pretty empty. The other good news, they came to the room and cleaned the room while I was down there, which is just like perfect timing. Cause sometimes I feel like when I'm on a trip like this where I know I'm gonna be spending a lot of the day in the room, like timing that is sometimes difficult. The bad news is there is no Peloton. Absolute false advertising. The bike down there, they have a spin bike, but it's like a different brand. And so the clips, if you're not familiar with spin bikes, the benefit of having the shoes is that you can clip into the bike, and you just, it's hard to explain until you feel the difference, but it is a massive difference riding when you are clipped into the bike versus just sticking your feet in the cages. And the annoying part is that I have shoes that clip into that kind of bike. Peloton has its own type. There's 2 different types of bike clips. Peloton has one kind, and then pretty much everybody else uses the other kind. I would have brought those shoes. Like, it didn't matter to me, but the website said Peloton, so I brought Peloton. So anyways, I still did a class, but I pivoted a little bit. I was gonna do a 30-minute class and a 10-minute strength, and I just didn't want to do 30 minutes in the cages. So I did a 20-minute spin class and then a 20-minute strength. So I still worked out for 40 minutes. I just split it up a little bit differently. And now it is just after 10 o'clock. It's funny because while I was on the bike, I was like, the view was beautiful. I was like overlooking downtown. So I'm looking outside and it's still not sunny at all. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna try and push the pool today. In fact, if I'm gonna do anything like in this time frame that's not working, I'm gonna go get a nice coffee from somewhere. And so I kind of made that decision with myself that the pool was not gonna happen today and I was gonna go get coffee. And then about halfway through my workout, Sam sent me a text that our friend that we were supposed to be meeting for a late lunch today wanted to move it up from 2 to 1. And if that was okay with me. Sam is done with his sessions at like 12:30. So it's cutting a little close, but totally, he's like, I can make it work. Obviously it's totally fine with me. And so cutting back an hour for sure, not going to the pool. And in fact, probably not even gonna venture out and get iced coffee because I looked it up and there's not really that much within walking distance. Like, we're downtown, so I thought I would have lots of coffee options, and there really isn't that many, and especially not within like 1 block. So obviously I don't mind walking, but if I'm gonna save time, and also as fast as I'm talking right now, I probably don't need another cup of coffee. Maybe if I start to feel a little bit of a slump, I will get an iced coffee either at lunch or somewhere on campus. There's probably some new coffee shop I've never tried. So right now, let me take a deep breath. I am going to go ahead and get ready. I'm gonna shower and get ready and then just get back to work until Sam gets here and it's time to go to lunch. Okay, feeling really good about my progress today. I finished prepping all of the videos, which that is one of those tasks that just like, I feel a weight lifted. Don't get me wrong, I love having an editor, but I somehow always feel behind when she has finished a video and it's like sitting in my YouTube ready for me to do the rest of the stuff. And even if I'm not planning to do it till next week, I like hate having it sit there. So I love being all caught up on prepping videos. Then I also did some of the Q&A answers and finished my December daily plan. It is now 12:20. We need to leave probably at about 12:45 for lunch. So I'm gonna start my communication routine. I highlight out I'm going to finish it before it is time to leave, but I at least am gonna get started on it. Also, it's raining, so I don't actually know how much time. It just looks so gloomy and gross out there. I don't know how much time we're actually gonna end up spending on campus because I just like, I mean, we've never been to campus together, which if you don't know kind of our background story, my husband and I both went to the University of Texas here in Austin. I am a grade above him, so we did overlap, and I graduated a semester early. So we overlapped for 2.5 years here, but it's a massive school and we definitely have mutual friends. That's how we ended up meeting. So we for sure probably overlapped at some party or some sorority fraternity mixer or something, but we never met in college. We met once multiple years after college in New York City at a Texas X's, which is our like alumni organization's name, event in New York City. And we had mutual friends at the event that kind of like merged our clumps. So that's how we ended up meeting. So we have been back to Austin together because we planned a wedding here. So we have been to Austin together multiple times, both for our wedding and planning our wedding and other weddings, but we have never been to campus. There was like never a reason to go. And it's not that it's far from where we're at right now, but it's not that close. And so we just never went over there. And so, I mean, we will walk around even if it is raining. I mean, I have an umbrella, but I feel like it's gonna be I don't know, it's gonna be exciting. I feel like I see people talk about this when they take their significant other back to their school and like show them all the places, and I feel like it's gonna be both of us at the same time. Like, we've got to go to this place and that place. So I don't know, but I'm excited, even if the weather sucks. Hi, okay, so I got very much so caught up in our afternoon that I completely forgot that I had my camera with me and that I was going to bring you along. The good news is I took lots of pictures, but I didn't actually take any actual video footage. So we went to campus, we met our friend Will, who is the guy that officiated our wedding, for lunch at a place that I literally can't remember the last time I went there, but it was awesome. And it was just, I mean, it was really nice to catch up with him and just talk about life, because obviously for lots of time leading up to our wedding, we talked to him a lot about the wedding. And then we went and walked around what's called West Campus. If you've ever been to UT or you went there, you have a child or a friend or a parent who went there, it's where a lot of the sorority and fraternity houses are, as well as a lot of, I am very much almost out of this, I've talked about it before, it's the tinted hydrator. Also, part of getting ready is I was gonna show you how I like pack and organize my toiletries when I travel. And we just are in a little bit of a rush, so I don't know how much time I'm gonna do that very quickly. I use the Erin Condren, this is very old accordion thing for makeup when I'm traveling and I'm going to be in a place where I like wanna put it away and bring it back out. I got a very little bit of this out. Anyways, so we walked around West Campus and we started at Sam's fraternity house and we went inside and walked around and looked at everything. I mean, again, we both went to UT, so we both have, like, I've been in his fraternity house before, but it was years ago and it wasn't with him. So we walked around, we talked to some current members for a little bit and looked at some old pictures, and then we kept walking, and just so much has changed about that area. So right next door to where my sorority house was, also the hotel, you can't even really see it in the clip, has one of these, oh you can, like a makeup mirror on the wall, but it's so high, like even angled down, and I'm like relatively average or tall for a female. I'm like on my tippy toes, it's very awkward. Anyways, right next door to my sorority house, there's this like food truck. What is the word I'm looking for? Like where there's just a bunch of food trucks. That was not there when I was in college. So it's just changed a lot. So then we stopped by my sorority house and the house mom let us in and we got to walk around a little bit. And then we stopped by the Co-op, which is the name of like the student store. That is where it's actually very interesting. In the basement is where you get textbooks. And then the top 2 floors are like merch, like literally Longhorn, anything you could possibly want. And I wanted to buy literally everything. Like I limited myself to one item, but I wanted to buy pretty much everything in the store. They just have so much more than you could possibly get online. I can't explain it. And they also have all these new like branded deals. They have Longhorn Lululemon stuff. They have Longhorn, what was the other brand? I was just baffled by how much stuff. But I went there because I wanted to in person buy a gift. This video is likely going up before I have a friend having a baby. So I'm not gonna show you what it is, just in case she watches this, in case she has her baby or hasn't had the baby yet and watches this before I give it to her. But it's actually a dance friend, which is bananas to me that I met a dance friend who went to Texas. We discovered so I didn't meet her when I did dance first, like years and years ago. That is another explanation. If this is your first time catching a day in the life, hi, I am part of a dance company that I was part of years ago and then rejoined last fall, and I didn't meet her until last fall, but she went to UT. We were the same age and didn't cross paths at all. And so anyway, I bought her baby something. It's so cute. I took pictures to friends because I just could not resist. I was like, look at this cute thing I bought. So that was the real reason I wanted to go to the Co-op, but I also bought myself something too. And then we went by the main building on campus, which is called the Tower, which if you have been following for a while is, yes, that is what our cake was shaped like. That was like one of the things I wanted at the wedding, was a cake shaped like the Tower. And then made every intention to come back here and have a little bit of time to work before the dinner tonight. But we spent a little bit longer meandering around campus, and I think we both thought we would. And then we discovered, actually the guys at the A Pie House, which is the fraternity Sam was in, told us that basically the one bar that is on, it's not actually even on campus, but the one bar in West Campus, the main bar, it's been there for so long. It is being demolished, which I shouldn't be surprised because that is how Austin is developing right now. But some company bought it out and is building a massive apartment complex. So of course I was like, well, we have to go have a drink. We have to go have a Texas tea at Abel's. Like we have to. So that's what we did. And I don't regret it at all. Of course, then when I like called the Uber to get us back to the hotel to get ready, it was 9 minutes to wait for an Uber, which I guess it was rush hour. I don't know why everybody needs an Uber at this time, but it was 9 minutes, and then there was traffic, and so now, I mean, we are already late, and I'm still getting ready. It's okay. The beginning part is just like a reception. Basically, it's like a happy hour, like an open bar before the actual award ceremony starts. So it's okay. Like it's not the end of the world that I'm not ready yet, but I am trying to get ready pretty much as quickly as possible. So that's the update on what we were up to this afternoon. All right, we are back in the room. Tonight was fun. Honestly, yesterday was better. So we made it just in time at the end of the reception to grab one drink and then go into the award ceremony. And in the past, they've done the award ceremony and the dinner at the same time, but they did the award ceremony separate first, which I actually thought was great. I was like, especially because we had just grabbed a drink, so I was sitting there enjoying my drink, cheering on the people that we knew. Sam did not get an award in this award ceremony, but it was, and there's thousands of agents here, but it was like, it was good. I mean, it was like short and sweet and to the point. And then of course they like, at the end, they have this like video montage of the places that the trips are for next year to try and like get you hype and excited, right? And then we move into where the dinner was. And typically the dinner you have assigned seats, and that was still the case. And then it was like a sit down plated served dinner. And like, so it lasts a lot longer also because it was like, here's your salad, and then you finish your salad and they take it away, and then here's your entree. And it was just felt a lot more formal. You also like, we always dress nicer, but it was like a same buffet style that last night's dinner was, which the welcome dinner was always super casual. And even though it was still assigned seating, so we did get to meet new people because we had people, like we sat with people we didn't know, the vibe just didn't encourage a lot of like interaction. It was very dark. The music was kind of loud. It was just like, I don't know. And the food was not, just wasn't that good, frankly. So it was just kind of like, I don't know, last night honestly was more fun. The food was better, but it was meant to be casual. Like you ate buffet style, and then you could either like go to the bar, you go talk to people. There were some activities, there was a live band, and so we were dancing, and I don't know. It just felt kind of, it was too, they were trying to be partly formal, but the pieces of it were still casual. So anyways, and now you're back in the room, so I am gonna get ready for bed and wash my face.
Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to do before we left, but definitely ran out of time, was like lay out my nighttime routine stuff. I did that yesterday and it worked very well. When we got back from the dinner and the event, I was like, oh, all my stuff is already laid out. I'm gonna do my PM routine and lay it all out. But one of the things that makes that easier is that when I pack for like a trip where I am checking a bag, this is like my favorite toiletry bag. It's from Vera Bradley. It's very old, but I like that it's clear, kind of like the technology bag, so I can see everything that's inside of it. But I have separate Ziplocs for like the time of day. So, well, this is my contacts, and then my hair, like the hair products are just kind of floating. So there's dry shampoo, my hair serum, and then hairspray. Those are like just floating. And then this bag is like the morning time stuff, right? So we've got the micellar water, sunscreen, moisturizer, deodorant, and then the thigh rub stuff. By the way, I think I talked about this in a favorite video once. It's freaking lifesaver. And then I have this little bag for evening stuff. So I've got a little stasher bag with, these are like the eye makeup remover, and then my face wash is next to the sink. I'm sharing that with Sam. And then some like serums, whatever, if I want to use, and chapstick. The wedding I was in recently, she gave this as one of our, like in our bridesmaid gift bag, and it's perfect because I love using this at night. And sometimes if I'm traveling we're gonna be gone for over a week, I knew I was checking a bag, I knew I had plenty of space, I'm gonna bring all my toiletries. Like I'm gonna bring all of them. I'm not gonna limit myself. Like I wanna have all my things. If we are traveling obviously just for a weekend or in a carry-on and I'm only fitting in a Ziploc, I can minimize. And some of these things don't need to be in Ziplocs. The Ziplocs are more of like a convenience organizing thing for me.
right, that is it. That's gonna be the end of this video. I am in bed. I'm very tired and very ready to go to bed. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you so much for watching. Get to the daily plans. Let's actually, obviously it's totally fine with me. And so, do you like go through the pay?